Curtis King. Man, I thought you was gone. You was gone for a few weeks. I got a question. What's your question? Why did you feel like quitting? Rappers and producers, friends, family, all those of you that are watching, let me explain to you a video that I released last week on my YouTube. I released it on my Instagram, and it was basically a video of me as a younger Curtis King. I think it was 2006 when I was basically freestyling with one of my buddies. Shout out to J.O. Me and him were freestyling, and we were really just enjoying the essence of what hip hop is, why I fell in love with music. Those are the days that I fell in love with music the most. Those are the days that I look at this and I say, man, I really feel like I could be a big deal one day. And you know, I appreciate those times because I really felt like I was speaking prophetically about the future that I'm living right now. But sometimes when you go through things in life, you get short-sighted. I had a very human moment. You know, a few weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, 2 months ago, actually when all that stuff was going down, where y'all saw me doing Curtspirations from the park and in the car and at the homies, you know, studio, that was probably the time when the thoughts first started coming to mind that now your beats make you money. They make you massive amount of money. But your rapping brings you money only when you're active as an artist, and you can only do so much. So I started to feel like, man, am I spreading myself too thinly? I'm doing these videos, which I don't ever want to stop doing these videos. I want to continue to help my peers. And I started thinking, you know what, maybe I'm being pulled in another direction. Maybe it is time to start launching the professional speaking right now. And then some crazy stuff happened in my personal life, which I will not get into, but it drained your boy. Oh gosh, had his car stolen and it had the drum set inside of it. I mean, things left and right were happening. I mean, it was crazy. Shows that I was supposed to go down didn't go down, and just life just started really coming at me and didn't feel so much like it used to. Like when things like this happened in the past, I'd be like, yo, I'm just paying dues. I'm paying dues. I'm paying dues. But now at 32, it starts to feel like, okay, am I still paying dues? Should I be paying these type of dues still? And it made me start to really soul search and figure out like, yo, is it time to give it up? Is it time to just let go of this and focus in on the things that are bringing me, you know, the financial freedom and the financial success, which are my production and my YouTube videos? And I really gave it some thought, and then I said, you know what? I had basically recorded some songs when I was going through that whole thing with my last hosting situation and my house situation, all of these things that I was going through, and I recorded songs and I got them out. I was like, yo, I didn't get them out, but I had them done, and I said, man, like, these are amazing pieces of music. And I was like, what's the point of putting them? What's the point of dropping them? What's the point? Do you even want to do this anymore? So I had a very human moment. Now, I think what's important as a lesson to take from it is that I reversed that feeling. I don't feel nowhere near quitting. I don't want to quit. You know, I think that sometimes what we equate as quitting is taking our foot off of the gas for a second. But, you know, taking your foot off the gas doesn't mean that you're not driving anymore. Sometimes it means that you're stopping at an intersection. Sometimes it means that you need to fuel back up on some gas and stop the car entirely. But because your foot is not on the gas does not mean that the car is no longer running or that you're no longer going to your destination. So me, I just had a soul searching moment, and that video reminded me that all the things that I rapped about in that particular freestyle, they've already came true or they're coming true. So I'm so close. And I think at this point, it's almost like, I don't know if you've ever seen that picture. There's a picture online where it shows two people who are basically, like it's like a split screen where basically one guy's at the top and he's digging through some dirt with a hammer, and he's digging through some dirt with a hammer, and the other one's digging through some dirt with a hammer. But the only difference is the top guy is walking away from getting the hammer into the dirt, and the next guy is basically hammering away. The top guy who walked away was less than 3 feet away from his goal. And I really feel like that relates to me. And I think it relates to a lot of you out there too. You may have grinded for a long time. Maybe you're not young and frustrated. Maybe you're, you know, sort of older and you're frustrated. But let me let you know that it may not be the time to quit. It may be the time that you say, I may be right here. I may be the most intelligent, the most aware, the most strategic that I've ever been in my life. And I feel like with these videos that I share every week, I am as sharp as I've ever been on my music business. Why would I now use this time to not push forward the dreams that I had at 17 and 18 or 16 when I first started? Why would I stop now? I think that version of me will look at me like, yo, like that's dope that you're doing all this other stuff, but why are you quitting? We worked so hard on this and you're good. I think I'm pretty damn good. So that being said, I'm not quitting. I think what happens is I had to take my foot off the gas, go to a gas station, gas up, and come back even stronger. Now, getting ready to release new music, but sometimes even the person that gives us information, I'm gonna let you know. And I'm gonna get real nappy here for a second. I don't wear any crowns. I am never here to tell you that I am better than you. I am never here to tell you that I have all the answers. No, I think that I know intelligent questions that I can ask to you or even pose to you, or answers that I can give to you that can make you think in a different way, but ultimately you have the answers to your own problems. I don't wear any crowns. I need this information just as much as you do. And that being said, understand that we all go through those times of wanting to quit. Don't quit. Get more strategic. You know, sometimes we feel like, you know, Tony Robbins always says it too. Sometimes we feel like we don't have enough resources. Man, I wish I had more money. I wish I had a manager. I wish I had a team. I wish I had, you know, more social media presence. I wish I had more followers, more likes. All of these things are resources. But what we need to focus on is not finding more resources. We need to find out how to be more resourceful. How do you take the things that you have? Let me put this hat back on because I know I'm looking crazy, but how can you use what you do have to basically maximize upon the place that you're at right now? So now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, I have many platforms and many people from this last push that got the album to #4 on iTunes for Jubilee year that are sitting here and they're waiting to see, well, Curtis, you teach us this stuff. How do you do it? How does it work for you? And does it still work? They want to see the proof. So I got to continue to do this. I got to do this even if it's as a teaching tool, even if it's just for the people who have been fans of me before. I got to do this for y'all. So I hope this message today helps you. If you feel like quitting, or you feel like maybe I'm coming towards my end, maybe you're not coming towards your end. Maybe you're that person that's 3 feet away from your goal. Once again, it's another Curtspiration. Look, if you need some more of this juice, please subscribe to the channel below. Be a part of the handicap notification gang. Hey. If you need some more of this juice, did I already say that? I'm just handing out juice today. Pause. Pause. Anyways, look, thank you for supporting what we got going on here. If you want to leave any questions or comments, please leave that below. Please share this with folks that need this information. I got nothing but love for you, and I genuinely mean that when I say that. This is why I do so many videos. This is why me and Richie go so hard for these videos, because we know that it's genuinely helping people out there, and it feels good to see those comments. It feels good to see you guys say, you know what, this is what I needed to hear today, because I feel like these messages are for you. Don't quit. Don't quit. Re-strategize, become more resourceful about your situation. You don't need more resources. Become more resourceful. In this life, you will not be full of life until you decide to live life to its fullest. Curtis King of CurtisKingBeats.com. I can't listen to you. When I listen to you, it's a liability. Cause you be mentally killing my inner energy. So I'm concealing my feelings before you injure me.